What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom. What's happening, bro?
How are you, mates? How are you?
Good.
I'm good. Yeah, not a hell of a lot, mate. Back into the swing of things. Not really much holidays for myself, so just operations as usual. And yeah, watching the Lakers game in the background. It's 74-72 against Toronto. We'll see if we can get the chocolates today. I'll just chuck it on now. The sound comes on. It's all right. Hopefully we get down for copyright. But let's see if we can get the win today. But nonetheless, the title states we're going to look at the top 25, under 25 in the NBA. As we mentioned last week, we'll go around, go back, do a bit of research, come up with a bit of a list. Do with it what you will. This is our opinion on the matter, and we can debate the fact. And anyone in the comments, feel free to chime in if you wish. Whether you think our list is relevant or
right, wrong, terrible.
You agree with it, wrong. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you can have your opinion too. This is why we do these things, and it makes a bit of fun conversation in the comments. Doma, without further ado, let us know what's on the agenda.
Into it.
We'll get straight into it.
Top 25, under 25, EPL, NFL playoffs, wildcard weekend coming up. Let's talk that. Excuse me. UFC's back this weekend, and then hobby talk. We got a couple things in there. Not too much happening in the hobby front, except for one big news story that broke. But let's start with the top 25 NBA players under 25 years of age. Just a disclaimer before we do get into it. We at Double Coverage, as you know, wholeheartedly put our hand up and say that we're wrong when we're wrong, or if we let you down, we may have given some advice 3 weeks ago, which in that time, even though they blew out the Mavericks today, Ja Morant got injured, tore his labrum in training, and he's out for the rest of the season. We did say when we disclosed gamble responsibly, if Ja Morant is healthy for the rest of the season, they would make the playoffs. I went as far as saying they could finish in the top 6 teams. I don't think they'll make the play-in. Like the playing tournament.
So yeah. My $39 is down the drain now that I put on the market at $9.50. It was good while it lasted, and they were actually making inroads on the records against the teams above them in that short time that he was back. But yeah, unfortunately couldn't stay healthy, and that's the biggest part of the NBA. We see that all the time. Teams have literally won championships off the back of opposition teams having injuries and not having, star players out, and it makes a big difference. So yeah, look, it's unfortunate, but let's hope he can, be good to go next season.
4 games behind at the moment.
Look, if they make it, it's an absolute miracle.
So they're still shaving games off the teams that are ahead of them. But in saying that, yeah, who knows? Who knows, horse? Anyway, let's get into the business of the top 25 under 25. You've got a bit of a list. You're going to get it started. We've put this together.
Obviously, yeah.
At the end, Source.
We put it together.
When we have a look at the whole list, we can make some amendments if we think there should be an amendment. If not, that's it. We're locking it in. I'll create it on a post, and then you can or tell us that we've done the right thing. But without further ado, Source.
Yeah, so how are we going to do it? We've got our list. We'll show that at the end. We'll run it back from 25 to number 1, and then go from there, I reckon. So
very nice.
Let's start. We'll bring up each player on the Basketball Reference. So we'll start with number 25. We have Keegan Murray. So here we go. Keegan Murray, age 23, gets in there. He's at a older age, but he's got good size, good shooting. We've seen he can knock down 12 threes in a game. That's unbelievable. He's only been in the NBA 2 seasons. I feel like he's obviously got that where he's probably the third option on the team in that starting lineup. Maybe could even be the fourth option. I don't know. You got Harrison Barnes there as well. I don't know if who gets more touches. I feel like Keegan does. But nonetheless, his shooting's pretty good. 41% last season, 36% this season. I think teams have obviously caught on to that situation with his shooting. He is able to, put up more points when key guys are out. So he's averaged, 15.4 points this season. He's number 25 on the list. All right.
Very nice.
6'8", shooting guard, 203 centimeters. So pretty tall, to be honest, Doma, for a guy that can shoot that well.
He's a great player. He is, keep it up like that, Source, and you can just type in the guys in the search bar, and we can just go further down. So he's 23 years old, 23 and a half years old. So there's a good piece there in Sacramento. There is some talks about them potentially getting Pascal Siakam. Whether they use him as a trade piece, who knows? We'll wait and see. Next up at number 24 on the list is Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City Thunder. 22 years of age, 22 and 271 days. He's a 6'5", 195-pound power forward slash shooting guard. Very versatile. Great defender, Source. This guy, great
Plays
defender.
Both sides of the floor. Yep.
Which is great. He shoots the ball out this season. 0.2 points a game, 4 boards.
Look at that 3-point percentage.
Yeah,
improvement.
54% from the field, 44 from 3, 83% free throw percentage. He's killing it. He's playing really, really well. He's fit well with Chet and Giddey, SGA, Dort, all those guys. They are playing really well at the moment. In his last game, he shot the ball really well. He shot, where is he at? 50%, 67%, 75%, 73%, 70% from the floor with 17 points, 16 points, 21 points, 20 points, 21 points in his last 5 games.
Man,
so
I'm just saying, with that efficiency, understanding where to get his spots in the offense, I feel like, give this guy more touches. Give him more touches. I mean, at the moment, he's averaging 12.9 field goal attempts a game, shooting at 53%, 44% from 3. That's amazing efficiency. And,
his minutes have gone up too.
As well. Yeah,
his minutes have gone up the last 5 games. In those games, he's had an average of 3 threes in a game on average, I think, or 2 threes, I think it is. But he picks them well. He got 30%. 100%, 2 from 2. He went 1 from 3, 2 from 2, 1 from 1, 2 from 4, and 1 from 1. So he definitely knows when to take the shot. He's not just going to jack it up for the sake of jacking it up, wasting the shot.
And that's what I like about him. He uses his athleticism, and he's very good at Doma, you know what he's good at? The mid-range.
What?
When he gets into that area that Kawhi likes to work with, and he can quickly, boom, do a little step back or pull up, mate, he's lethal. I've watched him. When he dribbles left, and he fades left, it's nearly unstoppable. Like, I'm telling you, we're going to see a point in the future where Jalen Williams hits a game winner, driving, fading left, mid-range, money, right? There's going to be a game winner, buzzer beater. So 100%. I can just see he's got that type of ability about him. And, yeah.
Next up, Sauce.
Go trade for 3! Saucy wins his same game multi.
He's a happy man.
I'll take it. All right, next on the list. Let me actually just double check. Here we go. Next on the list. Update: Lakers are up by a point, 86-85.
There you go. Very nice. Next up, Calvin Johnson, Sauce. He is 24 years old, 91 days, small forward. From the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this guy is very good, but because his team stinks and he's taken a lot of shots, he hasn't been the most efficient player throughout this season. I think it's safe to say. So he still shoots the three at 34.5%, which is okay. It's not great. Field goal percentage at 45.5%, almost 50%. Not good. It's okay. His last 5 games though.
You can nearly argue the point with the age of Jalen Williams and his efficiency. He could potentially be above Keldon Johnson. I feel like, with that little bit extra size that he's got, and length, he's probably a little bit better defender than Keldon Johnson. So you could probably argue that, Jalen Williams could be on top of.
Well,
Keldon
there's
Johnson.
Potential. We could make that amendment once we finish this list. It could put him up. Jalen Williams could go up a fair few spots. So
So look, I feel like it's a tough one with Keldon Johnson, and it's tough with that young side because Pop is now put him to the bench and has Vassell in there. So you could have been an argument to Vassell maybe could have made this list, but we haven't seen enough of Vassell to maybe make this list. Look, arguable in this situation. He hasn't been the most efficient, but I feel like there's talent there. I have seen games against the Lakers where he's played really well in those games, and he's got the ability to make big shots and make plays. But whether he gets that opportunity with the franchise, I mean, you hope that you'll see. We'll see in the future. But regardless, he's number 24. Could get bumped down. We'll see. That's to be debated. All right, next one on the list.
This guy's got a lot of talent.
Number 22, Anthony Simons. He's 24 years age. Obviously, in Damian Lillard's shadow. Once he was able to, come out from that and get more possessions last season, you had, him averaging 21 points, shooting, 44% from the field goal and 37% from 3. That was last season. Now he's up to 38%. Look, he's only played 14 games as he came off an injury at the beginning of the season. So he's just warming into it. Averaging 25.5 points, shooting at 44% efficiency. So right on that same mark, shooting at 19.5 times a night, pretty much.
Back from injury the last 3 games, Source. So he started off pretty rocky the first 2 games back, as you can see there, both against Dallas. 15 points and 6 points. It went 5 of 16 and then 1 of 8. Went 1 of 7 from 3.
Game, 38 points and 11 assists.
Yeah, but he played against a lesser team in Brooklyn in that other one. Went to OT, so as you can see there, played double the amount of minutes, almost 45 minutes in that game. Went 52% from the field, 50% from 3. This guy's got a lot of upside. Mind you, we put him so low because, time will tell with him. He can be very streaky at times, very inconsistent.
I feel like it could just be the size factor, yeah? Like you'll notice our list, we're favoring size a bit. And there's only certain guys that maybe don't have that size that make it in there. But, yeah, look, it's a tough one. All right, next on the list, Doma, at number 21 is RJ Barrett. Is it unleash RJ time? Because, he put up, 37 last game. He put up 37 against the Golden State Warriors in a win. And today against the Lakers, I think he's already got 20 points through 3 quarters or something of that nature. I'm not sure. Stand to be corrected. I actually don't know. I can actually fact check that.
I don't know about this guy, man.
He's shooting it at the moment this season. He's averaging 21 points with Toronto. Before he was averaging 18 points with New York, but he was shooting at 42% from the field and shooting at 33% from 3. But since he's moved to Toronto, maybe the offense favors him more. Maybe they see. One thing I noticed is Toronto, I feel like they got RJ because they want that left-handed threat to go working with their offense, whereas at
he's Canadian as well.
Three left-handers. So yeah, he is Canadian. So I feel like it's going to be a good fit for him, and this could be what he needed. This could be the unleash RJ, party, and we see what RJ can do, and he can, he could literally average 20, 6 and 5 every night. Which would be
I hope he
outstanding
can.
player.
I think he's absolutely overrated, but I hope he can. To be honest.
Well, Dom, he's only,
really
he's only 23. He's only 23, so he's on the younger side. He's a left-hander. It gives it that, a bit of, obviously there's more dominant, there's more right-handers in the NBA. So the left hand is that bit of difference that teams can provide. So yeah, look, I feel like he makes it comfortably there. Could be arguments he makes it into the top 20, but nonetheless, number 20 on the list is
RJ. Oh no, sorry. Number 20 is the Aussie.
Josh Giddey.
He should be at number
Maybe
17 or less, shouldn't he? Or 16. This guy, but
comes into
Josh
the
Giddey.
league at age 19. He's 21 now, so he's still on the younger side. It would be better if you can, his 3-point percentage actually is not bad this season, to be honest. 37%. It's the best it's been in his career. He only attempts 2.7 a game, which is good. Averaging 12 points per game, but his minutes have gone down quite a bit this season. Only averaging 25 minutes. Before he was averaging 31 minutes. But still, he's averaging 4.5 assists and 6 rebounds. So that's probably going to happen with your lesser amount of minutes per game. But
Definitely.
Still 21, still finding his feet. I feel like with SGA there, he has to learn to play off the ball, but I feel like Giddey could be a number 1 point guard if he did get that opportunity. And so, look, put him in the top 20. Let us know what you think. He's still super, super young. He's still 21, so he's still younger than some of those other guys that are behind him on the list. Will he take that next step in the next couple of seasons? We will see. 4th, 5th season, 6th season, you want to see things coming to fruition as they're getting to that age of 24, 25. You want things to be peaking, and then, a good extended career, till you're about, 31, 32. You're looking at that, a decent 33, and then you'll get, I don't know how many people are going to be able to have that log career like LeBron. It's a very rare thing. So don't expect people to have a prime that lasts 15 years. Yeah, I think that's just unnatural. 20 years in his case. So it's pretty unrealistic. So guys' prime might last 6 to 10 seasons. Realistically, something in that nature. And some guys only peak for 3 seasons, 4 seasons of their whole career. Yeah. So that's the reality of the NBA, and not all these guys are going to end up in the positions that some guys now, as you look back at their career, like the Currys, LeBron, Durant, these older heads in the NBA right now.
Definitely. Right. Next one up, Source, is an injured player at the moment.
Yeah.
Out of
right, there we go.
Cleveland Cavaliers, it is Darius Garland, 23 years old and 349 days. He's almost 24 years old. Shooting guard / point guard from the Cavs. The last game he played was on the 14th of December last year. He had 19 points in that game. Since then, he's been injured. Based off of his stats, though, last year to this year, his 3-point percentage has dropped over 6%. He was shooting it at 41%, now at a 34.6%. So it's dropped. 2-point percentage has gone up. His overall field goal percentage, just up. Assists were up. Steals were up. Assists were down. Steals were up. Turnovers were up by almost 2 a game. It's just usage rate, obviously their Source. That's what happens. But yeah, this guy is so good. He's got a lot of potential. We've seen how good he is. Potentially that Donovan Mitchell might be on the trading block. If that happens, it opens up this team to be his, in the future with Mobley, and they try and build around those 2 guys. The rumor is potentially that Mitchell could be traded to the Heat. Who knows? It's just the wait and see in that situation. But yeah, Darius Garland in 19.
All right.
Next one
Number
up is
18.
one of your boys, mate. You love this guy.
Chet, we put him in there, number 18. Obviously 7'1", 216 centimeters. He's only 21 years of age. So he's got that. His last game against Washington, where he beat up on an absolute putrid side, he went 11 of 14 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 31 points on the season. Right, currently he's averaging 17.8 points in his rookie season, if you don't mind. 2.6 blocks.
Almost 3 blocks.
Thomas. That's what I love. I mean, this is showing me that he's got the ability to read the game, time the blocks, and I mean, maybe in the future we could be seeing a guy that, who never know, I'm going to say an outlandish statement, he might win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same
Could
year.
happen. This is a guy source, like, I like looking at the blocks, almost 3. I know he's still a bit off that, 2.6. But I like seeing
81%
blocks
from the free throw line as well, Doma, for a big guy.
Yeah, he can shoot. Yeah. The other thing I'll say with the blocks is you always got to go to personal fouls. And he averages 2.5 personal fouls a game. So he's not that means he's a clean blocker, good defender. Like, he's not just swiping at the offensive player and giving away fouls. He's very smart.
Defensive rating.
Yep, that just means he can pick and choose, Source. That means he can pick and choose his moments. Which we like. His last 5 games, the 8th, like Saul said, against Washington, 31. He had 17 against Brooklyn, 12 against Atlanta, 14 against Boston, and 18 against Brooklyn.
But look at how many. But if you look at the efficiency in all of those games, like, I mean, when he took 14 shots, he made 11. When he took 15 shots, he made 8. So that's 53%.
Yeah,
when he took 9 shots, he made 5. Like, his efficiency in his last 5 games is all over 50%.
I know everyone's comparing this guy with, like, Wemby, and Wemby is in this list, and you will see where he is. But I love the fact that everyone's saying Wemby's better. Yeah, okay, based optically, yeah. But, Wemby's like the number 1 option in that team. Chet Holmgren is not the number 1 option at Oklahoma. Nowhere near. Like,
look how well he's doing.
He was taking as many shots as SGA. He'd be averaging maybe 25 this season. He's averaging 17 now playing with SGA. 18. So that's the other interesting thing. You don't reckon he could score another 3 buckets a game? I reckon he could. I reckon he could easily average 23, 24.
The one probably criticism I probably have on him is he only averages 7.3 rebounds for a big guy. Probably needs to beef up a bit and go chase those boards a bit more. And, he needs to get that number closer to 9 rebounds a game, 10 rebounds a game, because, you become a guy that's, as we always say, 20 and 10 and can shoot the 3, extend the floor for your guards. That's an invaluable player. 2.6 blocks, could be 3 blocks a game. That's, to me, that is an unbelievable player right there. So, this is his rookie season. Don't forget. Yeah. Like, we might see him, reevaluate this list at the end of this season, and then maybe halfway through next season, and he's keep producing and things go up, or in 2 years' time. I mean, he could be in the top 10 of this list quite easily. So, things will change in the future. All right, Doma, without further ado, we need to spend a bit of time on him. Next on the list is, where is he? Oh.
Jalen.
Oh, can't spell. Jalen Green.
Almost 22 years old.
Yeah, he's 21 at the moment.
Rockets.
Born on February the 9th, 2002. So, obviously, first year in the league, averaged 17 points. Second year, he's averaged 22 points. But obviously, he put up a lot more shots. And this season, he's averaging 17 points again, but he's taking less shots, back down to 14 shots a game. His efficiency is not the best. His 3-point percentage is okay, but I'm not sure if you've watched Jalen Green. I mean, his athleticism is what probably, stands out. And, his efficiency can improve. But his athleticism, his first step, his ability to get to the ring. And look, Doma, I will say this here. should he obviously put the size on and work on his game and his bag and things, I think he could, potentially develop into a Jason Tatum type player, and he could become a number one option on his team. He's got he's 6'4", but he's got the athleticism that can, challenge guys at the rim. So it doesn't matter that he's a little bit shorter, only 193 centimeters. He needs to put on some size, a bit bulkiness, so he can, bustle through guys, ideally. But I think Tatum's a little bit taller than that. He might be 6'5" or 6'6", Tatum. So, but he's a little bit shorter than Tatum. But nonetheless, Jalen Green hits in at number 17. Thoughts on that, Doma? 21.
Yeah,
his efficiency is probably what hurts him the most.
We've missed someone on this list too, which we can talk about at the end, which I reckon could potentially be he'd probably be in the top 20 at the moment, as well as he's playing. He'd push up everyone, I reckon, a spot.
Well, so we can do a readjustment. We can do a readjustment.
We'll have to do a readjustment, because when I mention him to you, you'll say I reckon he should be in that at the moment, the way he's been playing. But the next guy on the list, Jalen Green's a great player. He's got a lot of upside. We've just got to wait and see how he goes. But next guy on the list is a guy that's having a breakout season, because he's now become the out-and-out number 2 option on the Philadelphia 76ers. He's a point guard, shooting guard, and is Tyrese Maxey, 23 years old. He's averaging this season 26 points a game. He's up 9 points from last season. His field goal percentage at 46%. The fact that it's 1.5% less, or 2%, less than his career percentage when he's actually taking more shots is pretty good. His threes gone down a bit, but that's what happens when you get more ball. Like you take more shots.
37% is still pretty good from 3, especially some of the threes he takes. I mean, he takes threes off the dribble, step back threes. They're not just catch and shoot threes all the time. On occasion he gets them from guys, but a lot of the time his threes are pull up, step backs, off the dribble. The level of difficulty on those type of threes is a lot more.
In his last 5 games. I'll read you his points, and I'll read you how horrific he shot the 3 ball, and you'll be like, just imagine if he shot it at a higher clip, at his average. So he had 25 against Utah. He shot 12.5% from 3. He went 1 of 8. Had 25. He had 27 against New York. He shot 14% from 3. He went 1 of 7. He shot 4 of 7, so he went 57% against Chicago and put up 21. He shot 25% against Chicago in the back-to-back, 20 points. The game he shot 42 against Houston, he shot the 3 at 22%, 2 of 9. So potentially could have had a lot more points in there. So, as well.
Yeah, averaging 5.7 attempts from the free throw line as well. So it gets to the line a little bit. Probably could try get that up there a bit more. Maybe he has to be a bit more selective with his threes on occasion.
Almost 7 assists, which is pretty good. It's up almost 4 really assists for him. Rebounds are up for him, which is good. Turnovers are slightly up, which is pretty impressive considering his ball use.
That is impressive. Yeah,
his field goal attempts have gone up by 5 a game, so which is a lot a game. So, hello Global, welcome to the show. So yeah, this guy, I reckon he's a gun. He's got probably, arguably in terms of like dominant, he's got the most dominant big man in the league as his number 1. So in Joel Embiid, that's for sure. Next up, Saucy has number, what's he at? 15 from the Cavs.
No.
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, number 15, yeah. Evan Mobley. 6'11", 211 centimeters, power forward, can play center. If you go the small ball lineup, you chuck Evan Mobley in there at center. Averaging on the season 16 points.
Another injured guy, mind you, Sauce.
What's that?
He hasn't played since the 6th of December. So another
he's injured
player
at the moment.
Him and Garland are
But
both injured at the moment.
Doma
His
is averaging
upside's
16
huge.
points, 10.5 boards a game with Jared Allen as well. You got Jared Allen there, so like
I know
he's
beast
he's a
fiend,
board machine,
like board fiend,
right? And averaging 1.7 blocks a game. 3-point percentage. This is where he's lets himself is let down. He needs to be able to catch and shoot the corner three, or just pick one or two spots on the three that he can just run to and spread the offense at times. That's probably where he needs to get better. But Doma, don't worry about that, because his 2-point field goal percentage is unbelievable. It's 57% on his career and 58% on this the season up until the point where he got injured. So look, a lot of potential. Only 22, and obviously could be a defensive force and a great player for the Cavs. And as you said, they look like the Cavs might be going down that avenue of Mobley and Garland.
Yeah, potentially that's what it's looking like. Next up is your
number
mate.
14 on the list, Jaren Jackson Jr. He is now 24 years old. I think we're finally seeing the outcoming. He came into the league at 19, so it's taken time. He had issues with fouling and things, but I think now we've seen with when he can get the ball more, he can be quite good. He's shooting it on the season with 15.7 field goal attempts. He's shooting at 46%, 35% from three. He's averaging only 1.8 blocks. That's down on his blocks from last season. So last season he averaged 3 blocks and was a bit better defensively. But he's averaging 21 points. And this is where he's still his downfall. He does not go chase boards or get boards good enough, I feel. Mobley's better in that aspect, but then you've got JJJ's much better at shooting the three. And his 2-point field goal percentage is pretty good. And I'm not sure if you've seen him when he's driving ability, his ball handling for a guy at his size is quite good, and he's able to get to the rack off the dribble. So look, he's improved. He's 24. He needs to stay at this level. He needs to go get more rebounds. We could see in a couple of years, should JJJ remain and Mobley might overtake him, and you'll see that change. You might even see Chet overtake him. Looks as though it could be that way in the future. Chet might be, a lot better than JJJ. I feel as though that's probably inevitable. All right. So that was what number was that? That was number 14. All right. Let's go to number 13, and it is your boy Doma. Your boy Doma.
He's my boy. He's my boy.
For the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero. He's 23 years old. Don't forget, he's been in since he was 20. He's 24. He's 23.
It's 24 in 2 weeks. So or a week.
2 weeks. Right there you go. So he's averaging on the season 22.7 points. He's only played 18 games. He was injured for a period of the season, shooting 42%, a career high from three this season. He's averaging 40. He's shooting 45, 48, 46% from 2-point field goal. He probably could get to the 3-throw line a little bit more at times. 5 rebounds for a guard, pretty good, and 4 assists when he's not he's a shooting guard. He's not a point guard. He's being at time forced to play point guard. I feel like he's more of a scorer, so he's obviously going to look for his shot. 19 field goals a game and 22.7 points, pretty good. Obviously the Heat value him, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what you do. I mean, will you be able to, if you're trading for Mitchell, will you be able to keep Hero?
Yeah, we will. We'll get rid of like Lowry, Duncan Robinson. We'll get rid of all those guys. We'll keep Bam Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Hero. We'll have.
You're gonna have to trade Jackers. You have to trade Jackers.
Nah, we're not getting rid of Jackers, bro. Jackers is the GOAT, man. He's better than all those guys.
Oh, shut up.
That's Mexican chocolate right there, mate. Jackers. I love that guy. He's so good.
All right. So Tyler Hero.
He said that. Did you hear it? When he hit the shot on LeBron? He said, "I can't wait to show my grandchildren."
Is that what he said?
Yeah, when he faded on LeBron and hit the shot. He goes, I can't wait to show my grandchildren. Yeah, he goes, I can't wait to show my grandchildren that clip one day.
What a funny guy, man. What a funny guy. All right. Next on the list, number 12 is none other than the best ball brother out of them all, the youngest one, LaMelo Ball. He is 22 years old. People might debate, he's number 12, but I just feel like he's a bit of a chucker at times. He's a bit, at times he's a little bit of a chucker with his 3-point shot. He doesn't, he takes at the moment when he was playing, he was taking nearly 9 a game at 38%, which isn't that bad. Averages 24.7 points, 8 assists, 1.4 steals. So pretty good. His numbers are really, really good. I feel like he could be a little bit more efficient and at times his 3-point selection is just odd, to say the least. So still a very good player, might bump up the list, but why is he in that position? I feel like injuries could always be a problem in his career. We've seen consistent injuries now over his whole time in the NBA. 51 games in his first season, his second season, the best season, 75 games, 20 in his last season, he only played 36 games. And this season, he's already missed he played 15 games and now he's already missed 15 games. So something like that. So yes, I don't know, Doma. That's the only question. He's still a very, very, very good player. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Let us know in the comments. Did we have Melo too low? All right, above Melo at number 11.
I got this guy,
the Detroit Pistons' finest, Cade Cunningham.
Mr. Sick of losing. 22,
the number 1 pick. I mean, at least he got it done in the end. And he did it's funny because he did take the responsibility. He's like, I'm going to put it on my shoulders. I'm the number 1 pick. And he has been carrying the load. I mean, let's have a look at his season. What is his 3rd season in the league? His numbers have increased. He's shooting most he has all his whole career. He's averaging 19 field goals a game, 45% from the field. He's shooting at 33% from 3, so he could be a bit better in that. And free throw percentage, 87%, only getting there 4.5 times a game, but averaging a career best 7.3 assists, 1 steal a game, and he's averaging 22.8 points a game this season on 36 games played.
Injured in the last game too, Sauce. Hurt his knee, played 11 minutes. If I'm the Detroit Pistons, I'm putting him on ice for the remainder of the season.
Oh, well, you make sure he's 100%. 100% before he comes back. You don't just bring him out. I mean, you might as well go for a number 1 pick again and try flunk out and get another number 1 pick to pair up with him and hopefully change your franchise.
Because he's got a lot of talent, man. This guy's actually a gun. He's very, very good.
He's very good. And you'll probably see him further up the list at some point in the future. All right. Number 10 on the list. And I told you,
I'm indifferent on this guy. I'm so indifferent on this guy. I don't know.
I just like the pace of the game he plays at.
Yeah, I know. You love him. I
love guys that play at their own pace. And his 3-point field goal has gone up 10% this season. He's shooting at 38%, right? He's averaging 20.5 points a game, 5.7 assists, and 8.8 rebounds a game for a power forward. That is unbelievable, Doma. And he's 22 years old. His efficiency is really good as well. 53% from 2. Blocks are up. Everything's at a career high in his 3rd year, and he's 22.
It's pretty good.
I had to put him in there. He had to make him in the top 10 for me.
No.
36 game sample size, Doma, and his last 5 games, other than a stinker he had against Golden State, where they blew him out anyway, so he wasn't really.
A lot of these young guys also going to have a stinker in there. Like Cade Cunningham just looked at. He had 9 points in one of his last 5 games, and all the other ones he had like 30. It just happens. You're going to have a stinker as a young kid. It's just
But before that, before that, if we have a look at his last games, 20 points, 22, 30, 20, 32, 12, 30, 22, 23, 27, 20, 31. Like, that's a big stretch of games to be averaging 20 points in your third season. Where a guy where you got Pascal Siakam there, you had Anunoby before, who were more senior guys, so they're probably going to get more touches, especially, Spicy P, he's going to get more touches. He's doing well. He's doing very well, Doma, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I've got him in at number 10. Not I've got him, but we've got him in at number 10. You're indifferent. You could maybe push him down a little bit, but I fought for him to be in the top 10.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think after you've seen the numbers, I think you might have been persuaded.
The next guy is so good.
Franz Wagner,
this guy
22
is
years
so
old,
good.
out of Germany. Obviously got injured in his last game against Sacramento. So once again, another injured guy. But look, third season, there you go, 20.9 points a game, 3.9 assists, 5.9 rebounds. He is a small forward at 6'10". His efficiency is just off the charts. His 3-point shot has taken a hit this season, unfortunately. So he's probably not taking the right selection, but his 2-point field goal is, top notch. And I feel like his 3-point was coming back to him a little bit in that later games, but nonetheless, it wasn't the best. But he can be really good. His efficiency can be really good. He probably needs to try get that turnovers a bit further down. But nonetheless, I think Franz Wagner is a very, very good player. His efficiency is just off the charts. If you just watch him play, he just doesn't take too many average shots. Even the threes that he takes, his threes percentage has suffered this season, but usually the selection is pretty good. Maybe it hasn't been this season. That's maybe why it's down, but you never know. He's getting more touches. He is only in his third season, once again, 22 years old. So Franz Wagner is in at number 9. All right, number 8, Doma.
This guy here, we could honestly, as crazy as this sounds, and this is super, super high praise, but I reckon this guy could have been in the top 5. Alperen Sengun,
yeah, he could have.
From Houston. This is, as Saucy said many a time on this podcast, this is the baby Jokic. This is what he said. He said it's Jokic light. He could easily be Nikola Jokic, that's for sure. He's out of Giresun, Turkey, 21 and a half years of age. He was drafted by the Oklahoma City Thunder with the first round pick, sent over to Houston. He's having an all-time career season at the Rockets. His last 5 games, 26 against Detroit, 30 against Brooklyn, 19 against Minnesota, 21 against Milwaukee, 22 against Miami. Rebounds, 4, 8, 5, 11, 11. Assists have dropped in the last 4 games. They haven't been as high. But his overall stats, his rebounds are exactly the same as last year, averaging 9. His assists are up by 1.1. Defensive rebounds are up by half. Where's he at here? 2-point percentage is around about the same. His field goal percentage is actually down, to be honest, Source, and his 3-point percentage is also down. But he's averaging 21.5, 9 boards, 5 assists on 54% field goal percentage. He's 3, as I said, 30%. Could be a little bit better. This guy, as a center, needs to, passing the ball, running the floor, getting his shot. He needs, my only criticism, he needs to work on those blocks. If he can provide that defensive aspect to his game, improve that, he will take a jump to another level again. He'll be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Genuinely on offense and defense. So
agree.
He's a very, very, very good player, and he's got so much upside. He's crazy. Only 21 years of age.
Only 21.
He's a gun.
All right. In at number 7, Doma.
This is where
the Big Z.
Right,
the Big Zion in at number 7. People will go, oh, geez, I thought he was supposed to be the next LeBron, this and that. Well, we've seen he's not the next LeBron, right? We've seen enough of him. He's nowhere near as good as LeBron, right?
He was never going to be a LeBron. He's,
true
what's
fact.
his name? They used to play for Seattle.
Right.
Sean Kemp. That's who
Sean
he said
Kemp,
he was
right?
going to be. And we've
Anyway,
been on the
all right,
money.
let's have a look. Let's have a look at his season stats. So currently he's averaging 21.8 games on the season. He's played 30 games this season. 58% from the field, 33% from three, but he only takes 0.3 a game. So he doesn't even take one a game. If that's not even at 1.5 a game, then when you're not even considering it, or two a game on attempts on three. Assist 4.5, rebounds 6 rebounds a game, 1 steal a game, and half a block a game. 21.8 points. Obviously, he's trying to fit into that offense. Last season, he was averaged a bit more when he did play, although he only played 29 games. It's tougher to put him higher just because of the injury concern with his body. There could be argument from people you might put him lower. I mean, if you're looking at this list and you're a GM, you're looking at this list, you're going, well, you might could take any one of these guys to build my franchise around. I feel like the guys above him, every most owners or GMs would choose the guys that are above him. So, look, he's still a very good player. There's obviously still the injury concern, which is the biggest thing, but we've seen what he can do. We've seen how dominant he is. And when he is on tune on defense, he can be really, really good. But, at times he's quite lazy. So, Big Zion in at number 7. All right. Domo, do you agree
number
with that?
6.
No?
Yeah.
Number 6.
He's dropped. He has dropped off.
Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4", 224 phenomenon
Rookie
out of Le Chancey, France. First round pick to the San Antonio Spurs. Drafted last year in the most recent draft. He's averaging 19.3 points a game, 15.8 field goal attempts a game, so only 44% from there. I feel like he takes too many threes for a guy his size. He needs to work on. They need to work on. Get him in pick and rolls. Boom, on the low block. He's that tall, high release, just turn and shoot over guys for 2-pointers, for 15-footers, for 12-footers. Like, just turn and shoot over guys. Get the mismatch, boom, turn, shoot. And this guy could potentially just dominate.
The craziest thing about this guy, because we're just going based off the last 5 games because of just the sample size here. Cleveland, 5 blocks. Milwaukee had 5 blocks. Memphis, 4 blocks. Boston, 1 block. Portland, 7 blocks. That's in his last 5 games. Personal fouls, when he had 7 blocks. 0 fouls. 1 block, 0 fouls. 4 blocks, 0 fouls. 5 blocks, had 5 fouls in that game. Didn't get fouled out. Against Cleveland, 5 blocks, 3 fouls. This is the guy, in terms of efficiency of blocking defensively, this is the model right here. He's a blocking machine.
Once again, this is another guy, he's in at number 6, but I mean, he could quite easily be number 3 in the top 3 quite easily. It's just hard because it's his first season, small sample size, 31 game sample size, and he's the number 1 pick. So obviously they're going to give him, they've handed him the chest, the chest of the franchise, the keys to the franchise, I should say. So of course they're going to give him all the touches. It's quite easy. You come in there and all of a sudden you're shooting the ball 20 times a game to, you still have to average that. But when they have that faith in you to take those shots and shoot it that many times a game, well, you're going to average good points. But where Doma makes a good point is the blocks and the defensive aspect to his game. And considering he is a 7'4" center, the most important position when it comes to defense, protecting that rim and inside defense, I mean, he could be a phenomenon. He could be an unbelievable offensive player and an unbelievable defensive player.
And much like Chet. Shoot the free throws. You can shoot the free throw.
Yeah, free throws 79%. So you can't foul him late in games and all that sort of jazz, mate. That's what you want from your center. So Victor Wembanyama in at number 6. All right, number 5 on the list.
Go, the top 5.
We mentioned at the start of the show, Ja Morant. Glock Moran, also known as, he is in his, fifth season. He's now 24, so he's on that cusp. But we knew by, season 3, he was, a gun. It is, concerning to see first season 67 games, second season 63, third season 57, fourth season 61, and then obviously missed a bunch of games because of his absolute stupidity. And then now he's injured and out for the season. So he's only played 9 games this season. So look, although he's in there at top 5, I mean, we've seen unbelievable talent. That aspect of health and longevity is hard to see with Ja Morant, especially the way he throws himself around, his athleticism. Doma, that 3-point percentage, even though it's only 30%, he doesn't take that many a game. I feel like if he doesn't have he better hope that
he's out for the season.
His injuries.
Go see Lethal Shooter in your off season, mate.
Yeah, I like that. But he better not. A situation could happen to him. What happened to Derrick Rose? He had all the athleticism. He had those little floaters that relied on his jump and hop in the center and all that sort of stuff, the spin move. Bro, very Derrick Rose-like. Load of injuries, lost his athleticism, was never the same player, and we've seen what happened. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen to Ja Morant, but it's a danger. It is a danger. He loses that athleticism. I'm telling you, Dom, his jump shot, he's not silky smooth jump shot like SGA. It's not like that in the mid-range. It's not like that. So I feel like, he doesn't have that to his game. So he has to work on some things in his game because, should his athleticism, he loses athleticism, he could find him at a place in the NBA where he might end up being a role player and not a star. Should that's a fair shout. Take hold of him. So, look, still very good player. We've got him in the top 5. Ja Glock Morant is in at number 5. All right, number 4.
This guy had a bit of a scare. Good. Thank God he's okay.
Halliburton, 6'5", 196 centimeters, point guard. Ja Morant's 6'2", Doma, point guard.
What's crazy?
6'5". They had Jalen
Williams.
We had Jalen Williams marked at 6'5" or something as a small forward. I mean, they've got him as a point.
Yeah, this guy's a point guard. I know.
Point guard. He's averaging this season. He's averaging 12.5 assists, 23 points. Go on, Dom.
I actually, what I actually did the other night? Crazy enough. Because I'm just being astounded by Halliburton. Because I can score the ball, yeah. He's a bit different to John Stockton in that as such. But that's the guy I looked at. I went to John Stockton. You keep up Halliburton's stats there. I'll just quickly get Stockton just to do a mini comp.
I think we can compare here somewhere.
You can, but I just want to go to. So where's his? What's this? He's what? He's 1, 2. How many seasons has he played? 3rd season. Yep. Look at the points he's going to be. He's going to average more points than John Stockton by the end of his career. But if he plays as many seasons as John Stockton, that is. Totals, assists. Like John Stockton's got way more assists, but just based off average, all right, he's 2 assists less than thing. But if you can go to the season by season breakdown, I'm not sure if they have that. No, they won't have it. You got to go back. Just go back. Just go down. Halliburton. No, just go down. See here.
Yeah.
Is that his per game, his season? How many seasons he played?
1, 2, 3. This is his 4th season.
4th season. All right. So there's the assists. He's got 10.4 and 12.5 there. Yeah. So Stockton, it's interesting, the trajectory in terms of the assists. So Stockton averaged 5.1 in his rookie season, 7.4, 8.2. Yeah. If his 4th season, he averaged 14 assists, Stockton.
Yeah. Jesus.
Then 13.6 assists. Then 14.5, which is the most he ever averaged in a season, Stockton, in his career. 14.2, 13.7, 12, 12.5, 12.3, 11.2, 10.5. And then it was all under 10 towards the back end of his career when he was 35 years of age. So I'm talking about back end. But for Tyrese Halliburton, in terms of assists, like he's averaged almost 10 there, 9.6, 10.4, and he's averaged 12.5 this year, which is mind-boggling. Like absolutely absurd, man. So this guy's a gun. And he's one of your boys too, so I know you're happy about that. So
Global, where's Trey? Unfortunately, he doesn't make the
25.
list because he's 25, mate.
25.
It's
You
under
gotta be
25.
under.
So if you're 25, like SGA, he's not on the list. The rest SGA would be up in the top 5. Don't you worry about that.
This year would be number 1. It was
we
up
made
the
it
source.
under 25. So if you're 25, well, technically it's against the purpose of what the list that we're making. So you're unfortunately non-eligible.
All right, so let's get to the top 3 because this is what everyone's
Let's roll
keen
up.
to
So
see.
that was Halliburton, number 4. Now this one's controversial because if you go look at other lists, they've got him down closer to 20, but I have got him in at number 3. Paolo Banchero, the 6'10 power forward. That's right, 6'10 power forward that can handle like a point guard. If you've seen his handles, unbelievable.
He's massive on the court, like literally.
He's huge.
He handles the ball. He's huge.
He's in his second season. He's averaged 20 points
so
in his first season, 23 points in his now at the moment, right? Obviously, Franz Wagner got injured, so in the last game he had to carry the load at Doma against the Atlanta Hawks. He scored 35 points.
Bro, I'm
4 of
looking at his
7
last
from
5
3,
games,
57 points, and 10 rebounds, Doma. That's right. You heard that right. 10 rebounds. He's currently averaging 7.2 rebounds, 4.9 assists a game, 23 points on 48% from 2 and 38% from 3. This guy's an absolute beast.
Look at his
second year. He's 21.
But look at his last 5. 35, 10, and 4 against Atlanta. 32, 10, and 11 against Denver. Triple-double there. 43, 4, and 5 against Sacramento. 43. 27, 12 boards, 6 assists against Golden State. 28, 9, and 7 against Phoenix.
Unreal.
And he shot 40% or more. Oh, well, he shot 38
against today. He had a stinker today, Doma. So he was due a stinker against. I'm trying to think who they played. So, but yeah, nonetheless, Paolo Banchero. What are your thoughts on that, Doma? Number 3 for Paolo.
I like him. I reckon he's very, very good. Oh, and it's the proof in the pudding. The proof in the pudding is where Orlando has been in the East this season. They were shit last year.
They were.
They were no good.
And Paolo have brought that franchise back from the brink.
And they've worked out that Cole Anthony, and like Cole Anthony's so happy to come off the bench and be the bench guy. He's another guy. I'm pretty sure he's under 25. We probably could have had him in the list based off just how good.
Been on the list.
How good he is just coming off the bench. He's as good as a starter, but off the bench.
Well, it's invaluable. I mean, I think it's invaluable having those guys that can come off the bench and give you 15 points and 20 points when they go off on a night, 25. But yeah, look, obviously he's a little bit small, so I didn't really favor. He's a little bit small. He's not number 1 option, so I didn't really consider him for the list in that. But Banchero is a freak. So Banchero is number 3. All right.
Here we go.
Number 2 on the list.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll see.
Luka the Don. Luka Doncic.
He's averaging 33.7, this guy, bro.
Right? 33.7 points a game. He came in the league at 19. He's now 24, so he just makes the list.
He's just a freak, man.
1.3 steals a game, 9.2 assists a game this season, 8.2 rebounds a game, shooting at 78% from the free throw line, 8.5 attempts per game, getting there 56% from 2-point field goal, and from 3, 38%, but he's jacking up 10.5 a game, which is probably a little bit too much if you ask me. But Luka the Doncic in at number 2, and people are going to go, what? How could you have him number 2? Well, we do. Just because...
Mate, you know Luka per 100 possessions averages 40 points a game.
That's unreal.
If it went based off of per 100, he averages 40.
His offensive rating is off the charts. I mean, to have an offensive rating of 120, that is unreal.
This guy's a joke, bro.
Advanced metrics, if you know to look into it, you can.
Oh my days,
that's cracker.
He's so good. I don't agree with you putting him at 2. Like we've had this discussion, but the guy that's number 1, I can understand why. If he actually starts caring about basketball a lot more, which we've seen that he has.
Anthony Edwards comes in at number 1. Doma, he's currently averaging 26.8 points a game. His career best at 22. He came in at 19 as the number 1 pick. Longevity. Doma, look at that. First season, 72 games. Second season, 72 games. Third season, 79 games. Hasn't missed a game this season. Or I think maybe he's missed 1, right? I love it. Comes straight into the NBA. Instant impact. Shooting at 38% from 3. He's on 6.8 attempts a game. He's shooting at 50% from 2-point field goal, 84% from the free throw line, career best 26.8 points. Is also averaging 1.4 steals a game. And Doma, this is where it gets interesting, right? His defensive rating is 109, which is pretty good. Jalen Williams, who was a good defender, was 110. But I feel like he plays both sides of the ball a lot harder than Luka. Luka is a bit of a liability on defense. Anthony Edwards can lock down guys on defense. We've seen it. He's taken the challenge on and locked them down, right? And I feel like he's got that about. Like, I don't think in a game sense you'll ever see Luka Doncic on the defensive end saying, "I want to guard that guy." You know what I mean? Like in an essence of a game,
he does have the LeBron / Kobe / Jordan effect. Anthony Edwards, he does in terms of like he does have that. Whether he has it off the court to put in the effort and has the drive as those 3, but Sauce and I have discussed this together that he's the guy in the league that actually has that Mamba mentality, but he just doesn't know that he has the Mamba mentality just yet. I think he's young. He's too busy worried about he's obviously focused a lot on his basketball and he's improved dramatically. But I think he just worries about other things that young players shouldn't have to worry about off the court just because he's young. He's got a lot of money. You know what I mean? But I just think if he can mature up quick, smart.
He's handled himself pretty well being in the league.
He has.
His team's first in the West. Lemon stuff like Zion, get called with OnlyFans, Hose, or Jar, and other guys, that have come into the league. So he hasn't really... yet to be. Let's touch wood for the bloke.
Touch wood, he doesn't. I hope he doesn't because this guy is a gun.
Because he's got a great personality, and if you're talking about a guy to collect in the hobby, first and foremost, I will say this, Anthony Edwards, if you do listen to this or anyone who's connected to Anthony Edwards, you can pass this message on. Tell the bloke to get the fuck away from Karl Anthony Towns because that's going to help you first and foremost.
I don't think he has to get away from Karl Anthony Towns. I think that Minnesota has to trade to Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh,
he's the guy you got to keep. Are you kidding me? This guy's the guy you got to keep.
You got to keep him. If you're Minnesota, you got to keep him as he's your franchise. He is your franchise, right? You got to build the pieces around. You got to keep. So look, Anthony Edwards is in at number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I like this.
Out of all these players, that's a great one. Who wins? Well, it's been Luka for the last 6 years, but if Luka can get his team up into the top 4 seeds, he's going to average about 35 by the end of the season. If you don't win it, when do you ever win it? To be honest, what's you have to average 40 in the season?
I'll bring it up, the whole list. There it is. I've got SGA at the top, and he's 25, and so is Trey. So you could probably put Trey in there somewhere. I don't know. For me, Trey Young he'd probably be out of the top.
He's 25. We wouldn't have him in there.
No, I know, but look, I had SGA up there at the top there. That's because he's my boy. But anyway, this is the list when I made it, sitting on the toilet.
I
There it
think
is. Ant-Man number
LaMelo
one.
I think LaMelo jumps Cade and Scotty Barnes, personally. Who else is there? Jalen Green, if we go down. Not much really changes in the top 10, to be honest, outside of maybe Scotty Barnes.
As we said, Jalen Williams probably moves up a little bit, I reckon.
Maxey, you can probably put him up.
Maxey was quite higher on a lot of lists, but I just, he's quite small. Is he like the next Dame Lillard type, which, Dame Lillard ends up being a top 75 player of all time.
Maybe
he's struggling this season.
Maybe Jalen Williams goes above Keldon Johnson, potentially. Chet over Jalen Green, Garland over Green as well. Green's good, but they're just having better seasons. The guy we did miss though, under 25 source.
Who?
Kobe White.
Yeah, I know.
Since being given the number one spot, he's been very, very, very good.
He has been very good.
It is a small sample size, though. It's a small sample size. I do understand that. If we revisit this list in 12 months, maybe if he can be consistent, we'll consider him. But that's a guy that we've left off. But there you go. We're an hour and 6 minutes into this podcast. That's the top 25, under 25. Now we're going to have to speed through everything else.
That's all right. We knew that would take up the most of the time, but
we
only be around for another short little bit, ladies and gents, because we don't want these to go for too. We don't want it to go for too long, so we'll keep it to an hour and a half. And
we hope you enjoyed that though. So I'll put
let
something
us know
out
in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, what your thoughts are. We might revisit that, and we might post the original list, and then
I think we put our list. We'll do our list source, and then once we post our list. We want to get the comments in from people in the Double Coverage fam. And then we're going to have a Double Coverage family amendment list where you, as the people that listen to this podcast, think some players should have been. And then we'll repost that again, pin them both at the top, and we'll see. We'll compare the two Le Mans over here who think that's how the top 25 should potentially look. And then our great listeners that are going to tell us that we're Le Mans and this is where we should have put the players. So I think it's a bit of a nice activity for all of you guys as well. So you'll be able to follow those guys and where you've ranked them as an audience. All right, Sauce, let's move on. That was a lot of fun, to be honest, looking at those stats in depth. Let's go straight into the EPL. There's not much to cover. It's just the fixtures for this week, Sauce. All right. Those fixtures are Burnley, Luton, Chelsea, Fulham, Newcastle City, Everton, Villa, Man United, Tottenham. Those are the games this week. That's all there is. Then the following week, we'll cover that. Other interesting news in the football world, the GM 2.0. If you watched our story yesterday, this morning I posted something. If you're not sure who the GM 2.0 is, that is Kylian Mbappe. He's the owner of PSG, said that he's got a gentleman's agreement with the GM, a handshake agreement, but he will not disclose what that agreement is, whether there could be finances and,
maybe a couple of brown paper bags.
Brown paper bags made by Vizzy, because this guy here, Kylian Mbappe, is Chris Judd 2.0. If you're overseas, you're not going to know who that is. That's a guy that plays in our in the AFL, play for the Carlton Football Club, Australian rules football. He got signed to a deal, and he became a so-called ambassador for the owner of the club's company, and was getting paid about $500,000 outside of the salary cap as this ambassador. So he made a nice, healthy income. So as we know, there's the owner of PSG is a sheik that's worth a lot of money. He might already be on that $1 billion Saudi League deal, but just by his owner off the books, so he doesn't get caught for financial fair play source. So he's got a lot of armor cars coming up to his back door during the week, and they're just dumping money on his back doorstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, FIFA will not say anything.
No, because if he leaves the French league's finished.
Yep. It is.
And his brother just signed at PSG. He debuted for PSG. Mate, I tell you what.
He's going to bring the whole family, mate. The Kujini, mate.
Yeah, he's
Everyone.
Kujini. Yeah, he's gonna have kids. He's gonna play with his son, like LeBron and Bronny. Well, LeBron's gonna be back in Miami next season, which I'm happy about, which is great because Bronny,
What was this?
Miami Heat scouts have been going to all these games and they want to sign him next year. We're gonna draft him apparently, and as LeBron said, he wants to play with his son. So he's going back to the East. He's going back to the Heat, baby. Global said next week the AFL 25 under 25. Yeah, we can do that.
Well, we can do that one on the lead up to the AFL season when it gets closer.
Next week, you know what we should do, Source? We should the World Football 25 under 25 soccer players, mate.
All right, put it on the to-do list.
Number one, I'll give it to you right now. Number one, Jude Bellingham. Next, that's it. He's number one at the moment.
He's number one.
So they're the fixtures. No Saudi League for a few weeks, so don't stress about that. All right, let's get into the NFL fixtures. It's wild card weekend, Source. We have.
Oh, hang on, wait. You didn't, mate. Before you move on, we've got to mention, honourable mention, our boy Timo Werner got a loan meal.
Yes, Timo. Super Timo's back, mate. If you're in the cardboard double, if you're in the double coverage cardboard chat, tag him. He's in the group. He hasn't accepted to be in the group, but we've added him. But tag him. Congratulate Timo in the cardboard chat group, and send all your regards to him.
Timo Werner, mate, when he's look, I feel bad for some people in the hobby because they probably got absolutely fleeced buying up his cards about 4 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago when the hobby was also very, very hot and his cards were hot and selling for a lot of money. And we always just warn people, he's coming from the German league. See what he can do in the Premier League before you buy his cards. And sure enough, now he's back in the Premier League. You never know. Maybe Ange can reinvent the bloke. They have a range of injuries, so I can understand why he's gone and got someone who's had some Premier League experience. So it'll be interesting to see him in the Prem. All right, Dom, keep going.
NFL, let's go. Wild card weekend. We've got the Browns against the Texans over there at the NRG Energy Stadium. We've got Dolphins at Chiefs. I'm just spewing my Dolphins had to get the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. That could be the end of their season. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at Highmark Stadium against the Bills. Packers at AT&T Stadium against the Cowboys. Manny's Cowboys. Rams versus the Lions at Ford Field. And Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Raymond James Stadium to finish it off. The bye, of course, because they are the 2 best teams in the National Football League, go to the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. So they will not have to worry about anything this week, Saucy. So that's it for the NFL. Over to you quickly for some UFC.
So UFC is back this weekend. Fight night from 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Sunday. It's main event. Magomed Ankalaev against Johnny Walker is the main event, and the co-main event is Matheus Nicolau against Manel Kape. That should be a cracking fight. And then you've got Jim Miller against Gabriel Benitez and Ricky Simon against Mario Bautista and Phil Hawes against Bruno Ferreira. So some crackers there. So a good one to start it off. UFC Fight night this Sunday, 11 a.m. So tune in on. It's a freebie, so it will be if you got KO or if you got ESPN or if you got VIP League. You can watch it. So there you go, boys.
And also, don't forget to buy your Roll Clean soap. All right, while we're on it, UFC.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry. It's okay.
Nonetheless, make sure you don't head over to www.rollclean.com.au and check it out and buy the Roll Clean soap. I need a restock, Matty. If you hear this, I need a restock. I've run out of Roll Clean soap. I've run out of Roll Clean soap, and I'm stinking like shit. I'm telling you, this crap you buy from the supermarket, it does nowhere near. It doesn't even make you smell good.
It's terrible. Right? We need the Roll Clean.
Roll Clean's number one.
Into hobby talk straight away. Source, you've got a product that you've seen, you can bring that up, and then we'll end it on some big news, and we'll wrap it up.
Yep. So
for
quick one. This is
today.
quickest hobby, one of the quickest hobby talks you'll ever see. There is not a hell of a lot going on. There's the usual scandals, allegations of loaded boxes, all this crap, da 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 da. As our motto remains on this show, buy singles, and you'll never be disappointed. Unless you're trying to prospect a player and then you lose a fuckload of money. Well, that's your fault. But you know, it is what it is. We all go there. It all happens. It's part of the hobby. Yeah, it's part of the fun, I feel. Nonetheless, this is a product which is releasing 2023 Fleer Ultra Marvel Midnight Suns. It's a 100-card base set, delivers into Marvel's horror realm with a broadening superhero team, taking a magical monsters and villains. It comes with art from a mix of artists, numbered parallels, which switch up the colors of the character's name, and set logo include blue, orange, red, 1/1 gold spectrum. Artist autographs are also available. So here is a little thing of the cards. There's Johnny Blaze. You got the Black Panther. You got some jambalayas in there. What's this one? Robbie Reyes, jambalaya. So something a bit different. Unless, I mean, we don't really go over baseball releases on this show, but yeah, there is a bit of baseball stuff that is releasing soon. So you can also check that out. And if you want to know anything in terms of where you find what is releasing, you just head over to Beckett or just Google Beckett
or Cardboard
release
Connection, Beckett,
calendar,
Cardboard Connection. Just head over
and there
there.
is, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that tell you it is what is releasing. I thought this was the most notable of what is releasing, just because I don't collect baseball. There is some nice baseball products releasing this coming week or two, so you can also check them out if you're a baseball fan. All right, that's it, Tomo.
All right, Sauce. We're going to end it on this big one, because this was the biggest news that came out in the hobby in the last week. And it was the GM 1.0, LeBron James, posted this: greatness awaits. And it's a Fanatics contract. Sauce. There it is. The tops. The Fanatics.
The tops. Le autograph machine. Let's hope he's as efficient signing his autographs as he is efficient on the court. And it'll be good to. I mean, look, we put, you know, the question in our chat and said, you know, what are your thoughts on Instagram, and you know, some people you know, liked it, some people were just, you know, not really fussed, but I just like the fact that it was just that. I think this is a good sign for people that can't afford LeBron autos, and hopefully they make him sign thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of stickers, so at least they can make autographs of LeBron accessible.
I think LeBron Sauce is going to be what Kobe Bryant was to Panini, obviously prior to the tragedy that occurred. But, you know, like, that was what everyone wanted in every product, was if you could get a LeBron auto. And, you know, Kobe autos were worth money. Obviously, they went up in price when he passed away, and people were trying to inflate the prices and do whatever. But obviously, the market itself for LeBron autos should drop dramatically once it starts getting saturated in the next 4 years. There's going to be a lot of LeBron autos out there in 4 years' time, right? A lot. And he's going to sign Miami cards, Cleveland cards, Lakers cards. Like, it's going to be mental. I'm telling you. You're going to get patch autos. You get that triple logo man could potentially be a triple logo man auto. Like, you could get anything. They can do anything, and they'll do everything that they've always wanted, that everyone's always wanted with Panini, but couldn't do, but came out with an unlicensed product in Upper Deck. Like, for the NBA. Like, you're going to get everything you've ever wished for, and it's never too late because it's an auto. Whether he signed it while he was playing for Miami, you know, like a Miami card, doesn't really matter. Outside of his rookie cards, which were licensed cards, who really cares where the autos come from now? Like, if it's in a licensed product, I mean, like, you shouldn't care. Same with Kobe's. You were hitting Kobe's once he retired and everyone was losing their shit. Like, this is unbelievable. You'll be able to get like I know people with a lot of these Kobe cards, like, you know, Kobe cards where he's holding the Larry O'Brien trophy, bro, and he's got it's like an auto, like nice picture cards. You'll be able to do all that stuff now with a LeBron auto on it. The difference with those Kobe ones, though, Fanatics, if you're listening, is they were on card. So don't ruin the beautiful picture of LeBron with a sticker. Actually get him to sign the card. That's just the advice I'm giving you. So I reckon it's great news for people that have always wanted a LeBron auto.
All I'll say is if Fanatics are not sending out a representative to his property or meeting him somewhere in a hotel room or something and setting up a signing session so they can do that stuff with him in person.
You can get Bronny to sign it. Who cares? As long as there's a...
That's what they're going to do. They're going to do the dual auto, mate. Bronny.
Mate, they call him Bronny, but his name's actually LeBron James Jr. It's still LeBron James. Like... His card doesn't say LeBron James Sr. It just says LeBron James. So it doesn't matter whoever signs it, signs it.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Do you reckon that if he does play with Bronny, he would actually put on the back of his top, it would say James Sr.? I reckon he would do it.
I reckon
he would do it.
I like it.
And then it'd be James Jr. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, but it's awesome. There's so much scope for it. Hopefully they don't stuff it up. That's always the thing that you worry about in general. But the playbook's there, Fanatics. Just copy every design that Panini did for well, in terms of like not design, because obviously copyright, but in terms of their ideas and with like artsy types of cards that they did with Kobe, just follow the exact same thing and do it for LeBron. And everyone will love it because all those Kobe autos, everyone loved them. Like, they just look so good. So
yeah, there's potential for Topps and Fanatics to do like what is obviously the Panini 1-on-1 set, which is a really nice set. It has the timeless moments in it.
Those.
Man, think about that type of set for Topps Fanatics with the LeBron autos. I'm just imagining it right now. I mean, they're going to sell for an absolute mint. I will never be able to afford one. But I'm just hoping, as I said, I'm hoping that there's a point where they're flooding the market with products and you got, let's just use a crap product from Panini, for example, or, a Chronicles.
Not even just hoops. Because you could get Kobe autos and hoops.
A Donruss. Like, if Fanatics is making that sort of thing and then whacking a LeBron sticker auto on it, that's fucking
That's nice. That's good.
Because,
that's good.
It's affordable. It's an affordable product. Kids will be able to afford it. There's a chance that, kids and that, even myself, can hit a LeBron auto. Oh, I'm telling you what, product is going to fly off the shelves.
It'll sell
and then they've got the exclusive rights to the Wemby autos as well. So no Wemby autos in products this coming season with Panini. You know that, right?
Dual LeBron Wemby autos. People love to have that stuff. It's exactly like getting a Jordan LeBron auto, dual auto. People will be frothing that stuff. You can now get Zion LeBron dual autos. Not that it's going to mean much with Zion, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't think it will.
But just imagine Zion coming out of college. This is the second coming of LeBron, and there was dual LeBron Zion autos. He had rookie cards, dual autos with LeBron. Just imagine how much they would have sold at the peak of the height of the hobby. Man, he's bloody...
Those days are gone, Doma.
But his prison cards were going for a freaking small fortune.
PSA 10s were going for $1,000.
It was a nothing card. Just imagine if he had a dual auto with LeBron. Oh, man. It's crazy. Anyway, on that note, that's great news for people in the hobby. LeBron signs with Fanatics. On that, keep living.
I'm happy with that.
Loving and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. It's double coverage, and peace out.
Peace out. Till next week, ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.